For about 2 years, I've been looking to replace my stock spoiler with a blank trunk, and I finally found one, so let's get started. First, you need to pop the trunk lid and open it. Next, find the trunk lock cylinder. It is held on by these two bolts. Using an 8mm socket with a short extension, remove the two nuts holding the lock on. Once the nuts are removed, gently tug the lock cylinder straight down until it comes free. Disconnect the lock from the cable by removing the green plastic piece from its bracket and then sliding the cable out. Save the lock because you're going to use it on your new trunk. Next, go inside the trunk and find where the tail light harness connects to the car. Disconnect the white harness and pull down the zip tie bracket from the body of the car. If the zip tie will not pull down, simply cut it with a pair of scissors. Just under the rear glass is a rubber seal that pulls out fairly easily. Pull the rest of the wiring harness out through this hole. Attaching the trunk lid to the hinge is 4 bolts, 2 on each side. You're going to want to remove the bottom bolts first. For this step, it's best to have somebody else help you to hold the trunk so that you have the best access to these bolts. With somebody else holding the trunk halfway closed, use a 12mm socket to undo both of the bottom bolts. Open the trunk all the way and make sure that your helper is supporting the trunk so that it does not fall onto the back windshield. Undo both of the top bolts and it should come completely loose. Gently set that to the side and grab your replacement trunk lid. Line it up with the hinges and thread the top 2 bolts, but do not tighten them yet. Hold the trunk halfway closed again and thread the bottom 2 bolts. You will need the top 2 bolts to be a little bit loose so that they have the flexibility to line up all 4 holes. Once all 4 bolts are threaded, ratchet them down tight. Feed the wiring harness into the hole under the rear glass and push the rubber seal into place. Connect the wiring harness inside the trunk. Test that the trunk is properly connected by pushing the trunk release button on your key several times. Close the trunk and make sure that it fits properly on your car. Open the trunk back up and connect the trunk release cable to the key lock from the previous trunk. Slide the key lock over the 2 bolts into place on the trunk and thread the 2 nuts on to hold it there. Using your 8mm socket with extension, tighten the nuts onto the bolts and tighten the lock into place. Close the trunk once again, and this time make sure that it opens with the key. If it works, then you're all done.